other big fish, this isn't always the best idea. It can easily be eaten. And recently, we've seen George W. Bush, the little fish thrown in the big pond of Washington. And he's struggling to survive. And this brings many people to wonder, what will be George W. Bush's biggest challenge in his first year? And that will simply be to establish legitimacy of the presidency and show that he is a man worthy of the job. And people wonder how he can do this. We can see how he can do this in 3 ways. First of all, by looking at the past and past presidents. Then, by seeing what things he should avoid, and also by seeing what things he can focus his attention with, and where he can make a difference. But to first look at what he needs to look at in the past. We can see that he's looked in the past, and he's only the 4th president ever to go into office without winning the popularity vote. And he won the electoral vote with a majority of only 2 votes, which isn't a whole lot of a majority. And so many people don't feel that he's worthy of the job. And according to the Newsweek January 1st, 2001 edition, we can see that many people in the history isn't on his side. The other 3 presidents who went in without the popularity vote didn't do very well in office. They didn't get much accomplished, and many people felt they were very ineffective presidents. So Bush needs to go away very strong to begin with. And we can see that he's been looking at Clinton and how he can avoid Clinton's mistakes to have a very effective presidency. First of all, he needs to avoid things in his private life that Clinton had problems with, so that any scrutiny he faces will not be in his private life, but only his public life that can come under scrutiny. And this, according to a Newsweek January 4th, 2001 edition, we can see that he's been avoiding many things that Clinton did. Clinton was known for not always making his appointments on time. Many times he'd run over with his other cabinet members and wouldn't always be on time with his schedule. But Bush so far has made sure that he's at every appointment right on time. He's made sure that he's always been there. And then we can also look at what Bush needs to make sure that he doesn't force issues with. He can see that things that he doesn't have enough power majority behind him right now to focus on. So things such as the Middle East and working with the Democrats and Republicans, he shouldn't try and force the issue. First of all, he can look at what Bill Clinton did in the Middle East. Just recently, with all of the new election things going on in the Middle East, it's been a very big hotspot. But Clinton still tried to go in up to the last minute and try and get peace deals to happen. He kept going and enforcing the issue, even when Barak of Israel and Yasser Arafat of Palestine said that they were not ready to work on negotiations. He still went in and tried to force the issue, according to a New York Times January 26, 2001 edition. So Bush needs to look at this and realize that's a hotspot that he should stay away from. Although it could possibly help him if he could manage to do anything, it's such a hotspot right now that it's much too dangerous for him to try. And we can also see when he looks at how he's worked with Democrats and Republicans. In Texas, he was known for getting the 2 to work together. But in Washington, things are a little bit different. And he's not only just trying to work with the Democrats, but he's also working with the conservative Republicans, who aren't really on his side, according to a New York Times January 23, 2000 edition. And we can see that he needs to be able to step away from these issues that he does not have the popular support behind him to work with. He needs to step away from those and focus his attention on what he can work with. And this is how he can overcome his biggest challenge of recreating legitimacy in the presidency. So then, what issues can he work with? Where can he be effective? The 2 largest issues are with taxation and with education. First of all, with taxation, he's found that he has big fish on his side. He has Alan Greenspan. And just recently, according to a LA Times January 26, 2001 edition, Alan Greenspan said that he would encourage tax reductions and tax cuts. Although he didn't say that he would actually support any of Bush's plans, his ideas have followed what Bush has also said, which gives legitimacy back to Bush's ideas and helps see that he's on the right track. So this is an area where he has other support behind him. He has other big fish in Washington willing to work with him. And we can also look at his education plans. This, we can see that he also has support and other people are knowledgeable around him, such as his wife. His wife was a public school teacher in Texas, and she said her biggest platform will be education. That's what's most important to her. And she used the White House as her platform. And so Bush can also work with her. He had more support behind him in the education area, and it seems that he does have support. So he needs to focus his issues on things that he can work with, such as taxation and education. And this is how he can become more legitimate and overcome his biggest challenge. So having looked at the question, what will be President Bush's biggest challenge in his first year? It will be simply to reestablish legitimacy back to the presidency. We can see that, first of all, he needs to learn from past history to see what he needs to overcome. Then he needs to realize that he needs to not force issues. Things that he can't work with, he needs to step away from. Focus all of his attention on issues that he can deal with, such as education and taxation. And with this, we can see that he will reestablish legitimacy. And then, George W. Bush will be the little fish that survives in the great big sea of Washington.